Good morning and welcome back to Cock-a-Doodle-Doo. As I told you just before the break, we are joined now by Lincoln Myers, former NAR Minister. Good morning to you, Mr. Myers.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
You would have heard the comments last night from the Acting Commissioner of Police. He says he's sending the file to the DPP. The video evidence will also be sent. Are you concerned that you two may be up for some sort of charge based on Friday's protest?
Well, anything can happen. I don't see myself as having broken any law. But if it's, if the commissioner or the DPP feels that way, well, then we will deal with it. I can only hope that the commissioner will, have the same bit of enthusiasm and proceed with alacrity to follow up some of the information coming out of the Off Commission, for example. I mean, if he would do that, then I would feel that he is doing his job and he's not falling into the realm of being a political police.
Clearly a very heated situation on Friday when the photograph that I have seen, one snapshot in time, you being wheeled by the police officers, you seem to be perhaps even shouting or calling out something. Tell me what surrounded that particular moment in time.
Well, that for me was a very testing, few minutes or so where the police officer was attempting to pull the wheelchair off the pavement. He had attempted to order me off the pavement, and I frankly refused to get off the pavement. I didn't see what, in a situation like mine or any situation, that I would be, forced off the pavement. And his intention clearly was to get me away from the pavement, literally push me off if he had to. The person who was helping to wheel me around, I mean, his finger was twisted and so on in order for him to let go of the wheelchair. But, as rough as it was with me, I think for other members of the taking part in the activity got a lot worse treatment than I got. As bad as my treatment was, I think it was much worse.
Did you feel that you were blocking the entrance to Parliament, and that is why that they attempted to move you in that way?
No, I was not blocking the entrance of Parliament. The protest movement was in a loop going, up and down the street, on the pavement. And frankly, if we have come to a stage in this country in which peaceful protest on a pavement in front of the nation's parliament cannot be allowed, I find we have, our democracy has degenerated too far. And therefore, I think civic-minded people must pay attention, strict attention to what is taking place in our country. I have a lot of problems with the present tax, the bill that was before the parliament, because it is not simply about property tax. We have a property tax. I am not in principle against the property tax. I am against the manner in which the property tax is being introduced. I don't like the whole process. I think it was wrong. I believe the property tax is part of a package that really is being aimed at abolishing local government. And to that extent, I think when we do that, when we abolish local government, we destroy a very important instrument of democracy. And I will fight that at every turn.
Well, I will speak more about your concerns about the tax, but you mentioned just now that you felt it was a peaceful protest. The Acting Commissioner of Police feels otherwise. He has said that he had a complaint from the speaker about the noise. It is an offense to do that. It may have been peaceful, but it is an offense to do that. Parliament is the highest court in the land. Parliament must not be disturbed at all. Something had to be done to deal with that disruption. Do you regret disturbing the Parliament if that was indeed the case?
No, I mean, the Chief of Police, the Commissioner of Police, will need to recall September of 2008 in Woodford Square, when there was a massive meeting there organized by the government, though they claim otherwise. And the commissioner was there. And there was a lot of noise on that occasion. I didn't see him get so flustered and frustrated as he seems to be now. So, you know, the whole question of equity, of equal treatment and so on comes into play. If the parliament was being disturbed, the members of parliament must understand that they're disturbing a lot of people in the country.
So if it was being disturbed, you think that you have a right to disturb the parliament, to make people wake up to what you believe is unfair?
I think the citizens of this country have a right to raise their voice against anything they feel is inimical to their interests. That is a democratic right, in my view. And if there is a law that prohibits that, then we must get rid of the law. And getting rid of the law means, in part, people standing up and speaking out for what they see as an imposition that is too much to bear.
So you do not regret the noise that was made?
I don't think there was any noise to speak of. I saw one report where a minister is saying that he heard some type of electronic equipment going, but that wasn't true. I was there. I saw nothing in that regard. The noise that was being made was people using their voice, chanting, and not even, well, you might say shouting, but chanting to keep the rhythm of what they were saying going. And I do not see, frankly, how that voicing of words and protests and chants would have been to such a degree that it could disturb the parliament. As a matter of fact, one member of parliament, another member of parliament, the Minister of Education, indicated that, I mean, she was so surprised that there were only 12 people out there. So one is saying that there were only 12 people. One is saying that there was some kind of electronic device. We are being told that the speaker is saying that it's disturbing the parliament. So, I mean, all of these contrary and contradictory things are being said. So what is the truth?
You sat in the parliament. You might know what can or cannot disturb the Hansard reporters, prevent them from taking notes. And Senator Sharon Gopal McNichols was here on Monday as well. She said that sometimes if there's too much crosstalk, they can't hear, they can't. Do you expect that is a genuine reason that the noise was filtering through to the parliament? And if you had in fact agreed to tone down the level of chanting and so on, that it would have been all right?
Well, I was not in the parliament. I haven't been there for a while, so I don't know what the acoustics are like now. I mean, during my time, there were a lot of vociferous protests around the parliament. I don't recall during, my time in government that we ever took, such action. So perhaps the acoustics might have changed. I don't understand. You have to remember that yes. The parliament underwent a severe attack in 1990. As a matter of fact, I had to remind a police officer that in 1990, I was one of the persons who stood up and attempted to defend this democracy in the best way I can. And therefore, it was very difficult for me to see, having gone through that and spent my life trying to work for and improve the political functioning of this country, to be able to come to a position when someone will tell me, you can't be on this pavement. I cannot accept that.
Do you believe that people in this country, I think there's some lack of clarity for this. The average citizen may believe that people have to apply for the right to demonstrate. Is that a constitutional right, that you have the right to demonstrate, or must you inform the Commissioner of Police that you intend to hold a rally?
Well, first of all, I think we need to understand that we are in a democracy. We are in a democracy. It is not as full a democracy as I would like to see. And therefore, if the Constitution guarantees freedom of movement, freedom of expression, and so on, protesting is part of that. Now, within that, of course, there are limits and laws and so on in place. And these things change. Now, I have been, in a sense, off the political scene for a while. and whether things have